Amazon was forced to admit the truth. It will cut over 18,000 jobs, more than initially planned. The foundations of the online sales giant are shaken. A whistleblower leaked the information that Amazon will cut over 18,000 jobs, more than initially planned. It forced Andy Jassy, Amazon's CEO, to make a public announcement. Amazon said on Wednesday it will cut over 18,000 jobs, a bigger number than the e-retailer initially said it would be eliminating last year. In a message to employees, Chief Executive Officer Andy Jassy made the announcement and said that it was in line with the company's yearly planning procedure. Previously, it was anticipated that the layoffs, which started last year, would affect around 10,000 individuals. The company's corporate ranks, including Amazon's retail segment and human resources duties like recruiting, are where the reduction is centered. Before continuing, support our work with a like and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our videos. We typically wait to communicate about these outcomes until we can speak with the people who are directly impacted, CEO Andy Jassy wrote in a memo to employees that the company published on its blog. However, because one of our teammates leaked this information externally, we decided it was better to share this news earlier so you can hear the details directly from me. As more customers switched to online buying, Amazon particularly recognized that it had increased the number of employees in its facilities too rapidly. 1.4 million workers were employed by the corporation at the conclusion of the third quarter. Jassy stated in November that Amazon will slash positions across the board, including those in its physical shops, gadgets, and books businesses. Amazon has already survived unstable and challenging economies, and we will do the same going forward, Jassy stated. However, I'm also certain that we'll be creative, innovative, and resourceful in this period when we're not hiring widely and removing some jobs. These adjustments will allow us to pursue our long-term prospects with a stronger cost structure. Starting on January 18th, Amazon aims to notify employees who will lose their positions, Jassy said, emphasizing that the shops and people, experience, and technology, PXT, units will see the majority of the job cutbacks. The business has admitted that it recruited too many personnel during the epidemic. The rising number shows that the business's outlook has gotten worse. It makes significant savings with other tech behemoths. Early on Wednesday, Salesforce Incorporated disclosed intentions to downsize its real estate assets and lay off around 10% of its workers. The greatest layoff for tech businesses during the present downturn would be 18,000 employees. But Amazon also has a much larger staff than its Silicon Valley competitors. By the end of September, it employed more than 1.5 million people. Thus, the most recent layoffs would affect under 1% of the workforce. At the time the company was planning its cuts in November, a spokesperson said Amazon had roughly 350,000 corporate employees worldwide. The world's largest online retailer spent the end of last year adjusting to a sharp slowdown in e-commerce growth as shoppers returned to pre-pandemic habits. Amazon delayed warehouse openings and halted hiring in its retail group. It broadened the freeze to the company's corporate staff and then began making cuts. Jassy has eliminated or curtailed experimental and unprofitable businesses, including teams working on a telehealth service, a delivery robot, and a kids' video calling device, among other projects. The Seattle-based company also is trying to align excess capacity with cooling demand. One effort includes trying to sell excess space on its cargo planes, according to people familiar with the matter. Parts of Amazon's business, which started as an online bookshop, are leveling off. However, it keeps making investments in its video streaming, advertising, and cloud computing businesses. The initial round of layoffs hit Amazon's devices and services division hardest, which among other things creates the Echo smart speaker and Alexa personal assistant. The unit's CEO said to Bloomberg last month that less than 2,000 workers had been laid off and that Amazon was still dedicated to the voice assistant. The Human Resources Department of the business offered buyouts to a few recruiters and staff members. Jassy informed staff members in November that the HR and retail divisions might see more layoffs in 2023. What's important? According to a previous report from November, the layoffs were scheduled to start among the corporate personnel, with cuts concentrated on the devices business, recruiting, and retail operations. It was reported at the time that the Jeff Bezos-founded business will let go of close to 10,000 workers. In the same month, the titan of e-commerce also disclosed a hiring freeze for its corporate staff. In a note to colleagues, Amazon CEO Andy Jassy wrote, "We are working to accommodate individuals who are affected and are giving packages that include a separation payment, transitional health insurance coverage, and external job placement support." The action follows the IT juggernaut's announcement last year that it will decrease its personnel without providing a specific number of job cuts. Where relevant in Europe, Mr. Jassy said the company will speak with organizations that represent employees, although he did not say where the impacted employees were based. Additionally, he stated that the people, experience, and technology team and the Amazon store's operations will see the bulk of position eliminations. More suffering ahead. Amazon said in November that it would begin a round of layoffs as it focused on cutting costs, but it did not specify how many employees it would eliminate. At the time, the corporation was expected to eliminate 10,000 jobs, according to U.S. media. The company said it had overhired during the epidemic and had previously implemented a hiring freeze and stopped some of its warehouse expansions. Additionally, it has made efforts to close off some areas of its operations by shelving plans for things like a personal delivery robot. Reviewing Amazon's operations, according to Mr. Jassy, has been more difficult given the unpredictable economy and that we've hired fast over the previous several years, he said in the email. Companies that last a long time go through different phases. They're not in heavy people expansion mode every year, he added. The US big tech industry is still struggling. Amazon is the most recent of many industry titans to announce layoffs in recent months. Tech companies are being badly impacted by a strong confluence of falling advertising income as a result of corporations cutting costs and consumers cutting down on spending as the cost of living issue strikes. They have also passed the peak of their popularity during pandemic lockdowns, when internet activity soared as people were bored at home. Amazon has previously disclosed that it will scale down on initiatives like the Echo, also known as Alexa, and delivery robots, which were merely nice-to-haves but didn't generate any revenue. According to anecdotal evidence, companies in Silicon Valley often acquire and keep exceptional employees at appealing pay even when they are not urgently needed in order to prevent them from joining competitors. This culture appears to be a luxury that big tech cannot continue to support. According to Ray Wan of the Silicon Valley-based firm Constellation Research, tech businesses would frequently dismiss only the poorest 1% to 3% of their personnel prior to the epidemic. Wedbush Securities' Dan Ives stated that he thinks Amazon will have further pain ahead as consumers tighten their purse strings. Jassy is pulling off the bandage to protect margins because Amazon is experiencing worse macroeconomic conditions, he claimed. Sector-wide reductions. Tens of thousands of jobs are being lost throughout the worldwide IT sector as a result of sluggish sales and mounting worries about a recession. Meta, who owns Facebook, stated in November that it will reduce its employment by 13%. There will be 11,000 job losses from an overall workforce of 87,000 due to the social media company's first major layoffs. The adjustments, according to Mark Zuckerberg, chief executive of Meta, were the most difficult changes we've made in Meta's history. The news followed major layoffs at Twitter, which cut about half its staff after multi-billionaire Elon Musk bought the firm in October. Amazon started laying off staff as early as November, according to LinkedIn posts by workers who said they had been impacted by job cuts. We hope you have enjoyed our video today, so if you have enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions or recommendations, please let us know in the comments section, and we will respond to them as soon as possible.